Hi guys, it's Daisy. I haven't done a face-to-face video, I think, since my 2019 scrappy goals, and this is going to be 20 questions in 2020. Becky decided that it would be something fun as a collective group to do a new scrappy tag. I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Daisy. I am a scrapbooker for the most part here on YouTube. I am from a family of 7 and I live in Colorado. I'm 38. I'm a wife to my husband Dwayne. We've been married for 13 years. I have 2 kids, Orion and Rowan. They're 10 and Rowan's gonna be 6 in February. And yeah, we've lived here in Colorado for about 10 years or 11 years already, going on 12 in May. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas. My husband's from Dallas and we met online, and that's how our little family started. That was question number 1. It was supposed to be an introduction. This is gonna go great. Question number 2 is what motivates you to scrapbook? And I'm looking over to my screen, and I also have some of the questions answered down below because I wanted to make sure that I answered these questions beforehand, and I wrote down short answers so that I don't kind of deviate too much, which I already started doing, so this is gonna go swimmingly. Number 2 is what motivates you to scrapbook? Preserving memories. I think that I've always been fascinated with photographs. I think it stems from the fact that when I was little, I would always look at older family albums, and also my aunts and uncles were very good storytellers on like weekends when we would get together, or especially on summers. I remember going and we would just hang out at my grandparents' house and they would tell stories, and we were able to share photographs and see photograph albums of, you know, parties and birthdays and get-togethers, which is especially when like taking photographs back then was such a special time for somebody. And if you were able to have a camera, you were able to take photographs and keep some sort of documentation of these past memories. And so it was always, I think that's something that stemmed and stuck with me, and that's probably where it stemmed from, is that all of my aunts and uncles are great, funny storytellers, and that kind of idea always stuck with me, that it seemed to highlight all the fun parts of life, all the happy memories in life. And I think that that's such a vital my battery cut me off. I don't know why I thought that I'm blushing, you guys. My camera flashing that my battery's gonna die is gonna somehow make me do this video a lot faster, and that I was gonna answer 20 questions in like 2 minutes. No, that wasn't gonna happen. I got on a tangent too about how important memory keeping, I guess how I sort of developed that love for it. Anyway, let's continue. This is gonna be so much fun. So I think that's is that what the question was? What motivates me to scrapbook? I think it was the fact that I looked at old albums and I heard stories from my aunts and uncles, and it was something growing up that I really remember fondly. And I think that that's why it motivates me, because I want to capture my kids' not favorite, but I want to capture their special moments, like milestones and birthdays or things that they do, or just moments in life that are captured and that I can reflect on. And I don't want to get it all emotional because I'm already starting to, but anything makes me cry, like just the wind blows at me and I'm there. So it's something that really motivated me. And I think mainly, first of all, without kids, the fact that I wasn't traveling a lot, but at my age I had already gone through a couple of states and lived out on my own and this and that, and I wanted to remember some of these memories, and I just thought that I wanted to document it in some sort of way, and especially with something tangible, something concrete, something that I can see myself in years past. And I think it's due to the fact that I did see photographs from my family's past that I wanted to kind of bring along with me. Photography was something that I always liked, and I'm not necessarily very good at it, but I know that it's something that I enjoy. So that, and added to the fact that now this hobby has a lot of like great stickers, lots of great ephemera. You can find any sort of thing to kind of enhance those type of memories and stories, really kind of brought it home for me. So I do like that aspect about scrapbooking, is the memory keeping. So what type of scrapbooking do you do? 12 by 12, 8.5 by 11. I've done mainly 12 by 12. I've tried to get into the mini album situation, especially with like December daily. It hasn't happened for December daily. I don't think it's going to happen for like individual trips, although I have done mini albums like that. And that's how I started. I started off doing a card cardboard. It's like a 5x5 even, with little cutouts, different size pages and cutouts in some, or windows or whatever in the pages. And I picked that up at Walmart like in 2004 or something like that. Do you, oh, I've done TNs as well, but I honestly, I don't think that's gonna be for me either. So do you plan your pages? I do, insofar as what pictures I pick out and maybe what collection or mini kit I'm gonna use or something to that effect. How do you file your scrapbook pages? I file them chronologically-ish. So if I don't have an exact date for the photograph, I put it kind of in between where I think the year would be, and that's how I get that. And I didn't even number them up until number 7, so this is fun. What is your favorite scrapbooking topic? Everyday kids travel. Yes to all of it. I mainly scrapbook my kids. I've recently, this last year, with my mom passing in April, I didn't inherit, but I was loaned a lot of pictures, a lot of family pictures, childhood pictures, and I want to scan them all in and kind of make, I don't think I'm going to be able to scrapbook page all of those, like scrapbook pages for all of those pictures, but I do want to make some sort of like, what do they call them? The photo books? Like that. And then that's my hope for all those pictures that were loaned to me. If not, for my individual family members that did loan me their photographs, I do want to scan them, but I want to scrapbook their pictures, their photographs, so that they have an album that contains them all, and hopefully I can put them chronologically-ish for them. How do you find time to scrapbook? Do you scrapbook every day? And do you have to give up something to scrap? Yeah, like forgo house cleaning to scrap instead. So let me answer the first question. How do you find time to scrapbook? I really don't. I try to plan to scrapbook on days that I have off. I have a part-time job, but I'm also really bad when it comes to like time management for my own life. Like when I go to work, and I'm at work all day, and I'm like on it. But when it comes to like planning my life and my, apparently even my extracurriculars, I'm a hot mess. I don't do that well, and it's something about myself that I've been trying to work on. I try to, like, in my head I say, oh, I should scrapbook on my day off, but then I'm like, if I don't feel like it, I don't do it. If I don't have the energy for it, I don't do it. You get the idea. Do I scrapbook every day? That's a no. Do you have to give something up to scrap, like forgo house cleaning to scrap instead? I do that a little bit. I used to do that before my part-time job a lot, and then it started getting in the way of family life, and it affected, this is what when I can and have motivation to. But this year I want to practice more discipline. That's one of the things that I wrote, and I used to forego housework, and that put a strain on my family life and my mental health a lot too. I didn't realize that doing that would cause such a problem, but it did. And so these past few years have been a lot about like making a balance, and then kind of planning ahead and trying to keep on schedule, trying to keep accountable, which is why I'm really grateful for the Mini Kit Monday girls. And try as I might, sometimes I fail miserably, but they've been so kind, and Becky's been really nice with me about how terrible I am with this situation, but it's really helped push me and try to stay accountable. And that's something that I'm going to try to continue on in 2020. Let's see here. So where do you shop for supplies? If any of you guys have been following me on this channel, you will know that I am a Tuesday morning scrapbooking supply finding fanatic. I love to find deals, and prices are going up. And even though that may be true, I've amassed quite a collection of things, of supplies, that I'm at that point where I want to find certain things that I like that I can't find at Tuesday morning. And so this year I want to maybe start finding perks at a store, because Tuesday morning doesn't have like shopping perks or points, and neither does Michael's or Joann's. But I think Janet at RTS, she spoke about one of the scrapbooking stores online that you collect points on, or something like that. So I want to look into that, and I also want to look into acrylic pieces or smaller stores that specialize in certain things like flair, things of that nature. So that's what I want to do. But yeah, Tuesday morning. So next question. Did you get any craft supplies for Christmas this year? Yes and no. Yes, I did buy and what was given Christmas supplies or crafty supplies in Christmas, but they were not wrapped and they weren't put under the tree. They're all here. So that's, you know, I had 2 days where we had an employee discount and we took an extra 20% off. So that was a 40% off sale for us, 2 weekends in December. And I didn't buy anything on the first weekend, and on the second weekend I told my husband about it, and we went and he bought a lot of chocolate and snacks, and I got myself a lot. So this is gonna be kind of a long video. So if you want to speed me up when I talk, hopefully I don't sound too much like a chipmunk, but that's what's gonna happen. If you double time me, I don't mind. Or if you want to skip ahead, what 3 scrappy items, products can you not go without? Not that I can't go without, but that I've used a lot or that I've tried to use more this year. And I've noticed it's been my ATG gun. That one, when I ran out of ATG tape before I reordered some more at Tape Jungle, I found that I was like, ugh, I really miss it. I really love using it. I have 2. I found one on clearance because it was broken. And I think it only cost me like $9. And then I happened to find another one, and I think this one, the packaging was just damaged, and I think this one ended up costing me $10. I know they were both damaged product, but the other one was fine. I got both on clearance. So if you are on the search for an ATG tape gun, don't forget to look at the damaged open product stuff. You might find it there. That's where I found both of them, and I really like it. I used to have like an acid-free one and then the regular tape when I used to buy ATG tape with a coupon, but now I just buy it at Tape Jungle. I really don't care. It works the same. I probably have to use a little bit more ATG tape, but otherwise it works great. Border punches I use all the time. I think that's one of my favorites. I use the tried and true go-tos, which are like the mini scallop from Fiskars. So it's this one, the double embossed dotted lace from EK Success. It's the one that embosses with the big scallop. And then the other one that I use a lot is the regular scallop from Fiskars. So those are the 2 that I use. And then I picked up the ticket from Chamel. I don't use this a lot. I thought I was going to, but I do clusters. I just don't start them off with tickets. And I've seen a lot of people do that, and maybe that'll help me use this one more, but I did buy it. And I learned that I use the border ones more than that one. I do have another one that's like a dotted scallop. It has a little hole in the center. I like that one as well. And there's one that's like lace. And then I have several, and if you watch my videos you'll see that I do use those in a lot. And then dies have been something that I've started to pick up at Tuesday Morning a lot. I thought a few years back, I have my silhouette, I can cut out any shape I want, I don't need to take up space with dies, that's just too much, I bring it out, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing with the silhouette, except the reason why I stopped using it a lot is because my mats, I would lose the sticky, and so I stopped using it, and that's when the dies started coming in. They are convenient in that you don't have to set up your machine, open the software, make sure your mat's sticky, da 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 da. Like if your die is sharp, if you have your cutting machine next to you, you can make several, or you can make several up ahead too in different colors or in basic colors. I've been trying to buy the concentric, is that what you call them? Like the circles that come in a set, or see they come in different sizes. I've tried to get those. Sorry for the glare. Those are like the pink circles, which I like a lot as well for boy layouts. I bought this one that has like the postage stamp edge, or that one that has a funky shape. So the ones that have repeating shapes die sets, those I've been buying, and I've been trying to collect some of those basic shapes a lot. These are those. This has been the one I've used the most. It's the one with all the circles. It's got like 21 dies, and I bought it on clearance. I found this one at Tuesday Morning. It was like $5. So I like this one by Spellbinders. I thought I had thrown this die set away, and no, it was just that they don't look the same when they're die cuts and when the dies are there. And then I like these basic shape, like the flowers. The mini doilies are always fun. So I do like those types of shapes that you can use over and over. I love the Heidi Swap because I love her handwriting, so that's why I got those. I'm obsessed with the Heidi Swap stuff. I've noticed in this year that I've used dies a lot more. Number 11, is there a product you will buy despite the expense? I've never been that type of scrapbooker, only because I always thought that scrapbooking was very expensive to begin with. Like, I used to be the type of person that would go to archivers, look lovingly at all the things, and then go buy stuff on clearance at Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and I would make do. So it's always been in my mindset that I can find it at a cheaper price. now I want to start investing in things. I think I went through a phase where like I bought a bunch of clearance stuff just because it was on clearance, and then I got out of that habit because then I started seeing that stuff was collecting that I wasn't using. I think I buy faster than I use, but now since I've made myself an arsenal of things, I can't think of the word that Janet uses, now that I have more things that I like, now it's like time to kind of find the things that I'm missing that I would like in my supplies, like the wood veneer or the plastic word that I just used earlier. I don't remember. Brads. I don't have a collection of brads, and of course I've been wanting to do that thanks to Janet. So yeah, those. Oh, and also I want to get, I think it's called the Caterpillar Pro. I think that one is the size, the large size paper cutter, but I want the one that folds up, and I want a travel case for it because people that go on crops have said that that's something vital that you can use, and that it just helps to have it with it if you intend on going to crops. And I think this next year I want to do that. So I do want to invest in more expensive items like that I know that I will use, and niche things, and also maybe things that I can't find at Tuesday morning, like that scrapbooking cocoa vanilla. I would like to purchase some of that stuff, especially the boy collections. I love them, so I would probably venture into paying more money for those type of collections because I do like them, and I do have boys, and girl or feminine stuff is more readily available, and the cocoa vanilla collections that I've seen thus far for boys have been, I like them. They've been on point. I would spend more money for that. Number 12, how do you feel about sketches? What is your favorite resource to find sketches? I didn't understand them at first, and I thought I was gonna be one person that like, oh, I don't get sketches and I don't understand how people can use them. It's so confusing. Once I started seeing how people interpret sketches, and it's just not just one person, it's like overall people saying this is a sketch I'm going to use, and this is how you can start with your picture, cut the paper about this size, or it has this shape if they're circular elements or hexagon shapes or whatever, and they show you the sketch, and then you see their interpretation and their process. That's when I started, like, that's when it made sense. So I like them now, and page maps is one of the resources that I've used, and I use it because it's a free resource. We did a hop with Scrapbook Generation, and I think Janet said that there was like 5 different sets of sketchbooks for like $25. That's a really good price, and you get more for your buck, and so that's why I like that. So at Page Maps online, every month they churn out new sketches, and that's where I go mostly, and Pinterest as well. Number 13, if traveling, do you take crafty projects with you? Number 13, I've never done. I've never really traveled. I've only done one crop, and that was like right before Archivers closed. So, and then I took Christmas cards to make, so that's what I ended up doing there. Other than that, I've never traveled with my scrapbook supplies because I want to have stuff to scrapbook, meaning like I want to do events while I'm traveling, so I focus more on like what we're going to go visit, where we can take photographs, and what kind of memories we can make, versus scrapbooking where I'm going somewhere. I really don't have time to sit and scrapbook while I'm traveling. I don't think we've ever had that much, like an extended period of time where we're at a certain place and we're therefore relaxing in general. So I've never had those types of trips. So that's a no for me. No, 13, never done that. I should have just answered with that right away after my question. 14, where do you stand on purging craft supplies? I've always tried to use up my older stash versus my newer stash, or if I try to mix both together, but there are certain things that I did purchase when I was going through my shopping phase in the earlier years that was just buying for the sake of buying clearance or finding great deals. And so those type of ordeals, if I know that I don't like them, I will pass them on. I know that I bought too many Project Life cards, so I also split those. Most of the paper pads that you see here, cubbies full of paper pads, and actually that's supposed to be full because my Christmas pads are missing from there, but they all look like this. I gave half of that to a friend of mine at one point in time, and half of my paper pads, so if it had a double, off it went, and it went with my friend. And I did give her, like one of each of the 3x4s and 4x6s in the Project Life cards. Like, I have no problem purging that way or sharing supplies. My niece has started scrapbooking, and so I'm slowly going through my paper pads and seeing what I like, or what she would like rather. I don't want to just bombard her with things that I don't want, because I want her to enjoy the process and not be bombarded with a bunch of stuff that she's not going to use. And so I want her to have fun with all of these things. And she was gifted a scrapbooking kit, and so that's a good way to start off. But I think it's always fun to get a new, I don't want to say barrage of things, but little things here and there every so often get sent, because it's fun. It's fun to kind of infuse the creativity every once in a while by getting new product. It's something fun, but I don't think it's something that I want to overwhelm her with. And so I do purge. I have a hard time with purging if it's gonna get thrown away, but I feel like I have a easier time purging if I know that it's going to get used. That's where I stand on purging. And if I know that I'm not gonna use it, it can go to someone else. 15. What other interests do you have outside of scrapbooking? I dabble in a lot of things. So I've done the hand lettering, crochet, painting, the watercoloring, drawing, listening to podcasts. I love going to watch movies. I like Korean dramas. I want to learn different languages, so I think that that's one of the things. I always like learning about different things, period. So if there's a subject that interests me, I think that's one of the things that I like to do is learn. So yeah, that's the kind of things that I like to do. Those are other interests that I have. I like music. I like a lot of type of music. I like some, I don't like all of it, but I do try to listen to a lot of music, a lot of different music, and I like watching YouTube videos. Number 16. Oh, why did you start your YouTube channel? I wanted to share what I created, so I wanted to share my layout pages somehow. I didn't know how to do that, and I didn't know how to do the process videos at the time, and all I had was my laptop, so I would share like hauls. This is what I would do. This is what I got, and you guys look at it up close, and it would be like, oh, I can't find it. This is, and so that's how I started. But then I had gotten a camera and a tripod, and I tried to like put the camera face down so you could see the camera tripod legs, and so it's just been evolving. I'm not very good at editing. I'm not very good at all that, like how do you add picture in picture. I wish I did, because then I'd be able, what I wanted to do originally for this video was craft something here and then put my picture in picture face in here. But that didn't happen because I don't know how to do it, and I'm okay with that. So I was like, face to face we'll have to do. So that's why I started doing hauls and layout shares. I didn't realize that it was community that I was looking for. I wanted to find like-minded crafty people that enjoyed this craft, and I didn't have anybody near me. I had a friend in Texas where I had moved from that enjoyed scrapbooking, but I wasn't gonna live in Lubbock, and my husband got stationed here, and that's why I wanted to find people that liked this hobby. I even tried to get a few people into it as my son went into school. He had little friends that he knew, and I tried to get their moms into it, and as far as I know, one of them did start scrapbooking, but we are acquaintances now. So anyway, next question. Community is the short answer to that. That's why I started my YouTube channel. Number 17. Do you watch scrappy YouTube videos? How much time do you think you spend watching YouTube? I spend an embarrassing amount of time watching YouTube. Sorry, I changed my screen. I like watching different types of videos. Lately, it's been this guy on YouTube that's called You Suck at Cooking. I like his commentary. I like that he makes food. It looks yummy in the end. I've also seen a lot of period costumers. They're on the suggestions or the homepage, I think. There was like a YouTube Secret Santa for cosplayers, and it was a lot of the period costumers, and I just kept watching all the stuff that they were watching. And so beforehand I had come across Bernadette Banner, and she does like Victorian style or 1900s era style costumes, and that's how she dresses too, and I just found that really fascinating. And from her I started seeing Kathy Hay. I like her accent, and from there Karolina Zebrowska, I just started watching her. I've seen a couple of her videos. She's enjoyable. But I also like the Korean cafe vlogs. They're very calming. My husband watches some of these like ASMR cooking videos, and those are interesting as well. I like the fails and the wins. Those are fun to watch when you need a chuckle. So what else? It's Okay to Be Smart, because I like the learning about things. I like watching YouTube videos with my kids about like animals, and I find them enjoyable as well, and they like them, and then they learn something, and so I feel like we get something out of it. They have interests in animals too, and so I feel like it's a fun thing to do together. Do you prefer to watch longer videos or shorter videos? It just depends on my mood. I watch both. I like both. I enjoy both. I will watch any type. I don't discriminate. So that was number 18. Number 19. Do you use your your scrappy skills and stash to make gifts for loved ones. Yes. So far, especially like I mentioned before with my mom's passing, I took a book that I had been working on. I knew my whole family was gonna be there, so I had some layouts for my niece that I had already started an album for her. And then I had another niece and my brother who I hadn't seen. I hadn't given him his daughter's baby album that I had started for him. So I sent those over and everybody sat around them as they looked through their scrapbooks and they really enjoyed it. So I have started scrapbooking for my family, mostly my nieces and my sisters now. And so I think it's really fun that even though this is something that only I do, they get to enjoy it too. And it really helps enhance their memories. And so that's something I feel is special, and I feel that I'm glad that I can do for them. And number 20, do you have any crafty goals for the new year? I do. My goal every year for scrapbooking is always to make more pages than the year prior, because then I feel like it's a productivity based goal. Then it helps me push to make more than I usually do. The running goal, I think from that stemmed that I would do 10 layouts in the month, and then that would make me around 120 layouts for the year. I think that's how I came up with that number. That hasn't happened, but it's because I don't hold myself accountable and I lack a lot of energy to come into this room even when I don't feel like it, even when I feel tired. And so I feel like I need to develop a mindset into being more disciplined. I expect that out of my children and I want to teach them that. And I think that they will see that even though I'm tired and I don't feel like doing some things, it will be a great way to lead by example, and seeing that even though I enjoy this as a hobby, it's also something that I want to be productive in. And so becoming more disciplined is going to go hand in hand with my number goal, but also an aspect of myself that I don't really like is not being reliable. So I miss Mini Kit Mondays videos sometimes, and I want to be a more reliable YouTuber. I did say last year that I was only going to commit to the Mini Kit Monday videos and the collective videos, and that's happened for the most part. I can say proudly, I guess. I don't want to like boast. I don't want to sound like, oh, you did it, Daisy. But I feel like I did accomplish that somewhat. There's always room for improvement is what I'm trying to say. And so knowing that I can work on being more reliable, I have a goal focus now where I can do that word, and then reliability, and then also become more efficient, and then also become more disciplined. So those are aspects in my life that I can use in all around, not just in my scrappy goal, but helping me focus on those three things I think will help me become a better person in 2020. And so those are my crafty goals for the year. So anyway, that was all 20 questions. I'm sorry it took like forever. I hope that some people please comment below if you put me on 2x speed, please. I would just get a kick out of that, because I know that I get long-winded sometimes, so I know this is a very chatty video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the other ladies that are doing this, and there is a certain verbiage that you're supposed to use for the title of this video. It will be on the video, and if you want to try your hand at the 20 questions, they're also on the Mini Kit Monday Facebook challenge group. It is posted there if you want to participate. I hope you people do, especially those that participate in the Facebook group. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I need water. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great and safe and happy, productive new year in 2020. And yeah, have a good day wherever you are. Bye. Where's my button?